Alright, Shalom.
Shalom.
First and foremost, before we begin, we'd like to give all praises, all glory, all honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash, and double honors unto the apostles and elders of Great Millstone for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth, and for giving us this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. As always, we say Shalom to the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
There's a couple of your brothers here,
Mayasha Allah
and Isaiah, and what we wanted to get into today, right, is the evolution of humanity, right? It's going to be a part 1 and 2, right? So, based on what Esau Edom want to tell you, right, so we are going to go from the aspect of what Esau Edom does say, and what actually going to take place according to the Bible, right? And we're going to disprove a little bit about what Esau Edom has said in the past, but more so focusing on what he intends to carry humanity towards, right? Which have everything to do with Revelation 13 and verse 16. Coming it out. Wow, Kusha.
Yeah, the book of Revelation 13, and we learn from verses 16 in the NIV Bible. It also forced all people, speaking of the beast, great and small, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hands or on their foreheads, so that they could not buy or sell unless they had the mark, which is the name of the beast or the number of its name. This calls for wisdom. Let the person who has insight calculate the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man. That number is 666.
Right, 666. 600, 3 score and 6. Same idea, right? But pursuing to the Revelation, the 13 and the 16th chapter, when they're going into that
13 and the 16th verse.
13th chapter and the 16th verse, when they go into that word mark there, right, as you always do, often do, it's from G 5480. It says charagma. It says a stamp, an imprinted mark of the mark stamped on the forehead of the right hand as a badge of the followers of the Antichrist, and the mark branded upon horses, right? Things carved, sculpture, graven work of idolatrous images, right? It says in the Strong's definition from the same as G 5482 is scratch or etching that is stamped as a badge of servitude or sculptured figure, statue, graven mark, right? When you're going to the Strong's definition, right, you click on that G 5482, it carries it what? A carax, which it says what? A pale or stake, a palisade or rampart, right? So what? A pale or a stake, right? So then you go down to the Strong's definition again, it says Carazo, it says to sharpen to a point, a king through the idea of scratching, right? So this charagma is going to be implemented or you say placed into the vast majority of humanity via the carax, right? And the charagma, the mark, is, as we often say, the micro C-hip, right?
RFID.
Or the RFID micro C-hip, or it could be the Elon Musk patented the Neuralink, right? So either or is a microchip, either that could be placed within your hand, or a brain chip we're going to be surgically implanted into your brain via the carax, right? Depending if it's in the brain, the carax will be a saw, anything they use to cut a hole in your skull, and if it's in your hand, it'll just be a needle, right? So with this understanding, you want to see how this could apply to the evolution of humanity, which Esau Edom thinks is going to take place next, right? So using artificial idumia here, right? One of the forms of artificial idumia via Gemini, I said tell me about the Homo sapiens, right? Because pursuant to, I'll go to this one before I go that, right? So I said tell me about the history of human evolution, right? It says the history of human evolution is a complex and fascinating journey right? Marked by a branching tree of different hominin species, each with unique traits and adaptations, right? The story is not a simple linear progression from ape to human, but a series of major developments driven by environmental changes and key innovations, right? So, bullshit. Don't start off this bullshit, right? They're claiming now something that's often taught in the schools, right, in the higher forms of education, that what humans descended from apes, monkeys, chimpanzees, whatever you may, right? But that doesn't make any sense, right? Because pursuant to scripture, right, because that scripture, Musa is not an author of confusion, and all flesh consorted according to kind.
All flesh consorted in Apocrypha.
Mm-hmm. And I'll get Genesis, first chapter. Right? So let me get where I'm looking for. I read the third day. I read Genesis 1 and 11. Then I'll go down to Genesis 1 and 20. Alright, Genesis 1 and verse 11. Alright, it says, and power called Shalak, and power said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind. Right? So aka if an apple tree was to grow out of the ground right now, right, it's only apples gonna come out of it, and what? Whose seed is in itself upon the earth, and it was so. So the apple seed, the apple fruit has the seed within itself. After it done eat the apple, if you ain't true seed the seed, right? Because some fruits there's the seeds. If you ain't true seed the seed, there's discard of the seed. Or you may plant the seed back in the ground. If a tree was to spring up from that seed which was planted, what will come up of that? An apple tree. Right? So it's the same thing with humans and animals, right? Dogs breed with dogs, humans breed with humans, and what come after them is what? The same progeny. So the idea that we descended from a whole different species, right? Because we as humans, them as animals, I know it's a different category of humans and animals, but to think that a human being could descend from an animal, it's illogical and not biblically sound, right? You go ahead. It says the earth brought forth grass and herb yielding seed after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit whose seed was in itself after his kind, right? And power saw that it was good, right? So I just wanted to go into that word seed there, right? In the Greek, we know you go back to sperma. See if I'll get in the Greek as well. Right. So now going to the word seed. That is Zara. It says what? Seed, sowing, offspring. It says a sowing seed, semen, virile, offspring, descendants, posterity, children. Right? So a man, right, when you read, because this is called the virgin birth as well, right? When you read, or Salakia, Immaculate Conception, such virgin birth theology, whether they teach at Mary, right? She was she got impregnated by the angel Gabriel or God himself, which furthest from the truth, because when you check from Matthew 1 to Matthew the first chapter from verse 1 till where does stop at 18, 17, the descendants of Yahushai, from Matthew 1 to about the 17th verse, so let's give you Yahushai, how you say, get that word, lineage to what is give you Yahushai lineage, and not one person there is an angel, not one person there is a tree, an ape, a chimpanzee, and no, that makes no sense, right? According to the book of Wisdom of Solomon, right? Get that. Wisdom of Solomon, is it 7? Right. Wisdom of Solomon 7 and verse 1. It says, I myself also am a mortal man, like to all and offspring of him that was first made of the earth, meaning what a descendant from Adam. Right? It says, and in my mother's womb was fashioned to be flesh in the time of 10 months, being compacted in blood of the seed of man.
Mm-hmm.
And the pleasures that came in sleep. And when I was born, I dreamed the common air and fell upon the earth, which is of like nature, and the first voice which I uttered was crying, as all others do. Right? I was nursing swaddling clothes and with cares. So like, and that with cares, for there is no king that had any other beginning of birth. Right? And verse 6 here, he had chopper for all men, all human men, all descendants of men, whether I descendant from Esau, Edom, right? Jacob,
all mankind.
all mankind descended from one man, right? If you go back to Adam, he descended from one man, and then, all nations on the earth was replenished via Noah and his 3 sons, Shem, Ham, Japheth, right? But all the men that walk upon the face of the earth today descended from Adam, which is what a man, right? The scripture gives us no other account, right?
You could jump so like when you're done there, I'll get a piece of to you.
Right, I'm finished verse 6. For all men have one entrance into life, and they like going out. So one entrance into life is what? Sexual reproduction. Man places his rod into a woman, ejaculates, seed, go fertilize egg. 9 to 10 months later, 10 months according to Wisdom of Solomon, the 7th chapter, boom, baby pop out. And the same way going on over and over and over since humanity began. No ape walked, and ape was crawling on all fours and then decided one day to get up and walk and then shed the hair and boom, shut the white man. No, that's not biblically sound. Right? Even as bestial as the white man is, he may have some traits of an ape, right? If you put him in as Job the 30th, you get into Job 30th chapter, of course, right? And when it speaks about that period in which they were driven from men, right, during the Byzantine Empire when Jake's ruled,
that 1,000 years.
Right, yeah, they were bestial in nature. You saw them in their true habitat, and how they just actually get on when they have no laws. Or how you say, well, like, they currently have no laws governing them, but when the place in which they made manifest as the least of the as Daniel 4 and the 17th chapter say the basis of men, right? When you put them in that habitat, you see those actually get on close to animals, but are they actually animals by progeny, by descendants? No, that doesn't make no sense. Scripture doesn't give you that account, right?
That's something I feel. The First Corinthians.
So like, yeah, one more thing. Because Solomon confirms this here, because Solomon was given the wisdom of everything, right? Sciences, right? Things to do with the physical body, right? Let me get it here. Okay, I'll start at verse 7.
Right.
Wherefore I prayed, Wisdom of Solomon 7 and 7. Wherefore I prayed, and understanding was given me. Right? We all wisdom, knowledge, and understanding has come from Yahweh, right? That is
Sirach 4.
That's Sirach 4, it appears in Sirach 4 as well, by Sirach 11 and 15. If you have it there, see if you get it.
Mm-hmm. The book of Sirach.
To be seen where Solomon get his knowledge from, right?
There's Sirach 11 and 15.
Mm-hmm.
Wisdom, knowledge, and understanding of the law of the Lord, love and the way of good works are from him.
Right, so all the knowledge Solomon had came directly from the Lord. He prayed and he got that, right? When he rise to fame and the prominence in the book of First Kings, right? The Lord did he did go down on his knees and say a prayer, and I believe the Lord did ask him, but where is the thing you prefer the most in your whole life, right? Where you want the most? And the first thing Solomon asked for was wisdom, and get everything else with that, right? Because the 8th verse confirms, I say, I preferred her before scepters and thrones, and esteemed riches, nothing in comparison of her, right? When you jump down now, I believe it's to the 20th verse, 17th verse, right? Wisdom of Solomon 17 and verse 7 and verse 17. For he had given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely, to know how the world was made, the operation of the elements, the beginning, ending, and the midst of times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, the change of seasons, the circuit of years, the position of stars, the natures of living creatures, and the furies of wild beasts, the violence of winds, and the reasonings of men, the diversities of plants and the virtues of roots, and all such things that are either secret or manifest, them I know. So if men would descended from Abe, Solomon would definitely have written that and let us know, but we can't get no account of that. So all of that is when you go to the Elisha Ramble of Tabernacle, the Lion Wonders, 2 Thessalonians, 2nd chapter. I believe it's around
It
the
talk about Conan fables.
Jurassic Levi's fables, Conan fables, right? It have old wives tales as well. But it said in 2nd Thessalonians, 2nd chapter, I believe around the 7th verse, the Lion Wonders. Right, 2nd Thessalonians 2 and verse 9. Even him, Esau Edom, who's coming is after the working of Satan, right? So Satan was to govern the earth. You're seeing it manifest in the earth right now. If Satan was governing the earth, which he currently is, he would do it through who? The nation of Esau Edom. This is how Satan would run the earth if he was in control. Right? With all power and signs and what? Lying wonders. When they go into that word lying, right, they go back to what? Pseudos, right? Short for pseudosciences, right? All of these ideologies were Esau and he also like all this false knowledge with Esau Edom have it in the world today, it could all be tied back to what? Pseudoscience, right? So when they go into it, pseudos, it goes into what? A lie, conscious and intentional falsehood, right? The ideology that man stand from beast is a conscious and intentional falsehood, right? Yeah, the
I also mean for you. I have a couple things.
So like the precepts that they asked for. So like, yeah, I had to finish Genesis. So like I'll get the mic after. I'm just trying to finish right in Genesis, yeah.
Right.
And when you done read all flesh consort according to time, you look up that word consort. Right? It's just to drive home the fact that you couldn't descend from apes. That makes no sense. Alright. That was Genesis 1 and 16. 1 and 20, right? In Genesis 1 and verse 20, and God said, let the waters bring forth abundantly the moving creature that had life. Right? So all moving creature
the word consort, the definition here goes to associate.
No, get it, so like I wanna the etymology, yeah. Right. When you get the precept, you read that after. Because that's drive it home all the way. Alright. Even the Matthew 22 where I wish I said
that they fair too.
Yapa. So like let me just finish here. It says what the moving creature that had life, right? So every creature that can move, right? Whales, fish, monkeys, spiders, rabbits, centipedes, all of them descend from water, even what? Human beings, right? It says the fowl that may fly above in the earth and in the open firmament of heaven, and power created great whales and every living creature that moveth, which the waters brought forth abundantly after their kind. So whales descend from whales, fish descend from fish. Get a species of fish, right? Crows descend from crows. Carrots descend from carrots. Sharks from sharks, etc. Right? It says, and every winged fall after his kind. Eagles from eagles, chickens from chickens, and power saw that it was good. Right? Let's see if anything else I could add here. Verse 25, and power made the beasts of the earth after his kind, and cattle after their kind, and everything that creepeth upon the earth after his kind. And power saw that it was good. Right? Right, that is it. Right? So you can bring out the power is not out of confusion.
Yes. No, but I had the word consort as well.
And yeah, that precept too, all fresh consort are contact, right?
Yeah, that's right, Sirach. In the book of Sirach, chapter 13, verse 15, every beast loveth his like, and every man loveth his neighbor. All flesh consorted according to kind, and a man will cleave to his like. What
Beautiful.
fellowship had the wolf with the lamb, so the sinner with the godly? What agreement is there between a hyena and a dog, and what peace between the rich and the poor? Listen, all are we have we own kind we had to flock to and we had to be akin to.
Mm.
A dog can't make a cat. A cat can't make a dog. It have no way in history. Not just in history, which we're gonna get the history when you go to Surah 17. It have no way in history that you could get a man from a monkey. That don't make no fucking sense.
You know, if that was to take place, the Bible claims to be the oldest living historical book in humanity, right? Because it documents humanity beginning from even before the age was made till this point we are at now,
Yeah.
right? And it documents this point we are at now via prophecy, right? So it tells us what was before and what is to come, and even documenting into the future because it gives us certain insights into how the kingdom is going to.
The Bible basically is the complete history book.
Right. So if we descended from apes, bruv, the likelihood that will be written in the Bible would 100% be there. So the fact that it isn't here shows
Means
that
never happened.
right, it's a canon in the device fable. Right.
But so we feel
Right.
the consort partner.
Shalak, yeah, let me get in the atom line because that is cut it beautiful. Right. All flesh consort according to kind, right? Right.
Early 15th century partner is since now obsolete from old French consort, colleague, partner, and then going down.
Right, you know, right, they continue.
Continue?
Yeah, consort,
Consort, a wife.
A wife. Who is to be the wife to a man, not a woman?
To make a next man.
Wasn't that the order the Most High set it up with Adam and Eve? Go ahead.
Partner, comrade, brother, sister. Your brother and sister can't be monkeys, bro.
Go ahead.
Unless you use a monkey too. In medieval Latin, a wife, noun use of adjective meaning having the same lot of the same fortune. Let me say, so like human beings come from monkeys. Let me say that was to be true, right? Again, you gotta get a precept the Most High is not an author of confusion. And then what? We know the Most High is a power of balance by him actions. We say he's a power of judgment, but what he also abhor it a forced balance and things is abomination to him. If monkeys was ever able to turn into humans, two things need to be the case. One, that still need to be happening now. Why would the Most High change something? If that how again, man, why how monkeys exist then? Still. Because all I'm supposed to turn into men, like one, but then two, it's supposed to be able to work on the reverse. If monkeys could turn into men, how we never see a man turn into a fucking monkey?
No, well,
yet?
that's something you had to discuss in the video.
Right.
How they perpetuate in our life for so long. Right.
And people you going to school and learning, right? Wherever. So
I just show you how much trust you should have put in them educational system. But I just wanted to, because that was the noun version, right? I just wanted to go down to the verb, right? Which verb says what? Associate, unite, and company. It says from consort, noun, related, consorted, consorting. Since the earliest record, it has been confused in form and sense with concert. But what is the point? Associate, uniting company. I've never seen humans unite with monkeys to do anything.
Especially make change. That don't make
or see monkeys descend into humans. We've never seen that take place in the earth.
That descend or ascend, because we the ultimate form of living species on the earth. But we would descend if we was to go to monkeys, and that's not happening. So we know that never happened. If you could give us Sirach 17, but I shall read from 1, because as you say, the point you keep making, why is there not a historical record of these things happening? The Gary record here, Sirach 17, read from 1.
Sirach 17 and 1, the Lord created man of the earth, right? And turned him into it again. Right? He gave them few days and a short time and power also over the things there. It's like even if you go to or when you go to Ecclesiastes, third chapter, it gives you an account that what all men when them die, their spirit died because what behind it all are we are different spirits. The spirits in animals different from the spirits within humans. Because when I go to Salaka Ecclesiastes, the
I
third
those
chapter,
go now go in there
yeah,
because again what I read in the Sirach 17 and one in the GNT. Then the Lord formed human beings from the dust and sent each of them back to it again. When did he do that? When he kills them. All are from the dust and all shall return. Let me get that real quick. The Ecclesiastes 3. Is it 3 man?
3:16. No, it's 3:16. So like 3:20, 21, 22.
No, but no, I mean I was thinking if it's chapter 3 or chapter 1.
No, chapter 3.
Well yeah, we began it from 18.
You see?
Let me see. If
Could
it's
be
8.
one, you know. What is 1 or 3?
This one. Yeah, it's 3 from I reading from 18.
Right.
I in the NIV. I also said to myself, as for humans, go test them so that they may see they are like animals. Nah, I ain't like that one. I said in mine heart concerning the state of the sons of men. So the heathen nations, yeah.
Because as I said earlier, although the maybe Esau either maybe even a bestial manner if he was put in such a position, right? If Esau either was in the same position we in, he'd be far worse, right? Because the Holy Spirit, if you go to it had this in the same could be the same chapter, you know, where the Most High gave the commandment of wisdom that she should dwell in.
That is Sirach 4, I
Leave
believe.
it sent.
Sirach 4.
Check again.
I get it.
Commanded wisdom. For wisdom and Jacob. It's 18, man. Right?
Listen.
Looking for, I think it's 18.
And with what wisdom should dwell in Jacob or something, saying? Listen.
For wisdom and Jacob, yeah. That we know only the Israelites are the Holy Spirit. Alright? Because the Holy Spirit is always. Alright?
Yeah, listen.
You get?
Yeah, nah, listen.
I'm trying to remember like 1950. I think 1850 and 1950. For wisdom, Jacob.
Yeah, but I didn't get to that. I
For
go try
wisdom
it
is
again.
if you get wisdom, Jacob, for wisdom is
Yeah.
What come? Let me see. Command. Give me commandment. Salakia. It was Salak from 24 for me.
Yeah.
I apologize for that. Salakia.
Right, so this Sirach 24 from 8, right?
So, make you see. We read from one.
Right, Sirach 24 from 1. Wisdom shall praise herself and shall glory in the midst of a people. In the congregation of the Most High shall she open her mouth and triumph before his power. I came out of the mouth of the Most High and covered the earth as a cloud. I dwelt in high places and my throne is in a cloudy pillar. I alone compassed the circuit of heaven and walked in the bottom of the deep. In the waves of the sea and in all the earth and in every people and nation I got a possession. With all these I sought rest, and in whose inheritance shall I abide?
So where does wisdom dwell within the earth?
Mhm.
Where the Most High sent wisdom, right?
So the creator of all things gave me a commandment, and he that made me caused my tabernacle to rest, and said, let thy dwelling be in Jacob, and thine inheritance in Israel.
Right? So that is what taking place, right? That is how come, right? We don't see we crawling on our fours, I mean, at destitute position, right? We worse off in here now than any other nation, but when Esau Edom was worse off in the earth than any other
He's
nation.
living with monkeys
Mm,
and
he
then
was
calling
living-
himself a monkey.
And ripping monkeys, right?
Retard.
So-
He's retarded.
Job 38 chapter that say we get that goes into that. So that is why it's like Ecclesiastes 3 and it's 20. You read? It say power might manifest themselves to see that
They themselves are beasts. I
Right.
still had to read that, I believe.
yeah.
I
See,
forget.
that is how we know. That is why Solomon made reference to that they don't dwell with the Rakah Kodash and see reason when they're in a destitute position and see them doing these things.
Mhm.
Go ahead.
Ecclesiastes 3:18, and I said in my heart concerning
But
the
it
state.
doesn't so like it doesn't manifestly make them the beasts themselves. You know? There's not monkeys. There's not rabbits. It's
Just
not,
act like.
they just act like it. Right.
I said in mine heart concerning the state of the sons of men, that power might manifest them, that they might see that they themselves are beasts, manifest, reveal.
Mhm.
For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. Every one thing befalleth them. As the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they all have one breath, so that a man had no preeminence above a beast. But that don't make no sense, because we see that the Most High give dominion of the beast to man.
Yeah, we read
So
that
who
in,
men they talking about here?
Because we just read that in Genesis. Right. So, as we perfectly break down before, Solomon ain't going off when he say that. Why? Because they don't have the wisdom that the Lord imparted unto the nation of Israel, dwelling with all the other nations in the world. Plain, point blank, simple, right? That's why the Lord likened them unto beasts, but how they manifest the beasts, they descend from beasts, no, right?
These are the minor beasts.
Mm.
For all is vanity, all go into one place, and all of the dust, and all turn to dust again. So if you could go back to that Sirach 17, because again, we see in the history of the evolution of man here being given in the scriptures.
Yeah, because there's a history of an evolution of man even from the beginning, because Adam didn't always have the wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. As just perfectly
Yeah,
exposed
thou
that.
gave us him commandment.
Right, he gave us his commandment. So till Adam got that commandment and became the son of Mosai via the Rakah Kodash, right, which our commandment go back to the law. Which
Yeah.
the law
The
is
law,
good and the
statutes,
family law.
commandments,
The
right?
law is good if a man do them, he shall find life, but as to all that leave it shall what? Shall find death.
Wait,
That
John
roughly
said
part.
6:63. John 6:63. These words that I speak unto you, they are spirit and they are life.
Right. So that is when Adam was separated from all.
So lucky. Go ahead. It have a precept now come to me there from with that same thing. Right? Go ahead.
But you see, that is how Adam get separated from all the other men upon the face of the earth.
I
Mainly
like it better than KDV. Go ahead.
mainly the sons of God, which that is Adam descendants, get separated from who the sons of the wicked. Because the sons of the wicked was given the same instruction, and because Adam, right, he was made king of the earth, and he gave the commandment to Abel and Seth. Salakia. Well, Abel and Seth, yes, but Abel and Cain. But what Psalms 50 and 16 said, what dost thou do to
What hast thou to do to
declare my statutes, seeing as thou what hatest instruction? Right? So that will put them below everybody. Them get the instruction and them hate it. Them reject knowledge. Them just reject knowledge, yeah. Right? So because thou hast rejected knowledge, I will also reject thee. Right? That was said to the children of Israel in Hosea 4 and 6, but what that always be manifestly said to the nation of Esau, you know?
And they have been rejected. It is sought no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears. Found no place of repentance, though he sought it carefully with tears.
Because you see how he was even seek that repentance, he gave it the birthright for food. That's a bestial thing to do. We are two Bahamayam there.
Bahama Hayam.
There.
Or Bahama Mayam. Bahamayam.
Right, we are two monsters home there.
Yeah.
Right, them say let's give them for food.
Yeah.
Right, so I sure that's how when we come home from now on, I was farming and thing. When Jacob put that
a fucking dog.
You see, so
That is so. Why?
anyway, yeah. So we go straight too far from the point.
Yeah,
right?
so like God, this precept
So,
here,
let me
Baruch,
do-
with the statutes and commandments being the breath of life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Baruch 4:1. This is the book of the commandments of God, Yahweh, and the law that endureth forever. These laws ain't going nowhere.
Beautiful, and not just it ain't going nowhere, it was always there. But that's beautiful to see, because if you ask a Christian when were the laws, statutes, and commandments instituted, they will tell you from Exodus 12. Right? Because they believe the first time the law get instituted was when it was written by Moses or engraved on the tablets. Right? But when
Then 12 them come, they might start at 20, they might say the
yeah,
10
so
commandments.
they ain't gonna even say the Passover, right? So you see, them understand when the law was instituted in the year, but the law was always there. How was Noah able to differentiate between clean and unclean beasts? What commandment was Adam given, right? So what, he gave Adam a different law than we give the nation of Israel? That makes any sense?
Because think about it too. As no man say something, the name, the Most High name in the Lord.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no way you could sacrifice without having that name.
Mm-hmm. So who Cain and Abel was supposed to do sacrifice unto?
What was sacrifice?
How we could say Cain's sacrifice wasn't good, but Abel's sacrifice, how the spec onto Abel's sacrifice. Was the determining factors for that? See, doesn't make any sense if the law wasn't always here. As but if you bring out the law in the earth forever, the law was always here and will always be here. What Apostle Paul say, for I believe that the law is good. The law is good.
And one, we can't say Cain and them was doing some bad shit. If it didn't have good shit, salak no shit, salak yeah. Good things to make the differentiation with it. All things double, one against another. You can't say something good if you're not saying something bad as well. Innit? So right.
So you can't say something lawful unless you're
seeing some unlawful.
That's beautiful. One thing established another.
The good of another. The existence of another as well.
Right.
Right, and the law that endureth forever. All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. Turn thee, O Jacob. So like, what that the point? All they that keep it shall come to life, but such as leave it shall die. These laws is the breath of life. These laws is the key to life.
That's how we know we separate from nation and Israel, as well, because what take place with Abel and, let me say, Adam and Cain, right? Because Cain was joyous to break the commandment and not have no remorse. He had no remorse. He said, what am I, my brother's keeper? That in the law. To be a brother's keeper, that in the law. But Cain was like, am I my brother's keeper? But when Adam did break the law,
if he was sorry, he was sorrowful. Sick.
So one man is he standing pride in glory to break the Most High laws, but another man, how he was repentful, he was sorrowful.
So much so that when the Lord asked him about, hey, what the fuck going on here? He started lying. He said, but I mean,
because the shame, he can be the shame. The shame.
Is the shame.
Right,
the shame.
We just feel that same. When we break the law, we know we break the law, we just feel that same shame. Apostle Paul beautifully expounded and writing Romans 7 chapter.
Oh, wretched man that I am.
Who shall save me from this body? So what, Paul not sorry to break the law? You see, that would separate me from Esau, because we could go off same minute, but how we just feel, right? We respond to going off.
Yeah, one man remorseful and the next 17 and give one fuck.
And
one out of the 17, like he wished the laws wasn't there. That he stayed, but so like you could continue that Sirach 17, just to get the history there.
Sirach 17 and verse 2, he gave them few days and a short time, the power also over the things therein.
So that few days short time going into what? Death.
Because what the psalmist say, shall live 10 years
by reason of strength
80. Right? So
the man life always gets cut short, especially since the time Adam started war with sin.
Since Noah.
Up till now we dying still. So what man life short? You don't live. Once you dead, your life was short. Okay, you're not living forever. Good.
Verse 3. He endued them with strength by themselves and made them according to his image. Talking about the sons of Adam, right?
So like, let me just read let me just get this in the J and see if there's anything they wanna say. Go ahead.
Verse 4. And put the fear of man upon all flesh, and gave him dominion over beasts and fowls. right?
I'm
You
really listening.
don't see chimpanzees or monkeys exercising that same dominion over beasts and fowls. If I see chimpanzee come and play mad for a lion going to tear it to
And the
bits.
chimpanzee will run.
Verse
5.
5. They received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord. And in the 6th place he imparted
It's a lack. Boy, what going on with this app, boy? A whole verse 5 skip on 4 and never seen this before, but it's a
check
lack.
here, see if yours. Check with see if you have it. If not, see if you can get it online.
No, because the only thing, just what you could do, you could go back in that same thing there and click 17 and then click verse 5 and see. Oh no, it's not there. It's literally not there. Like they ain't translate that. Me understand.
We'll see if we can research it.
Nah, I guess one thing, I just wanted something there. But go ahead.
It says they received the use of the 5 operations of the Lord.
So you're
taste,
5.
sight, tongue, smell.
Yeah, just senses.
Right. And what in the 6th place he imparted them what understanding.
So what? He could give them instruction now.
Right. Because animals operate with that same understanding. Humans do though. Be able to think.
Anything. Animals have to be trained to understand. To be able to, everybody can follow instruction. But the immediate understanding of an instruction, you give that to man, you can get that to animals.
No, but animals could follow it, but that based on instinct. So that the instinct to hunt.
Or eat.
Any other instinct like to kill on command or to bark on command, we would have to give them that.
Yeah.
Right.
So they do truly basic instinct with it is to hunt, to eat. Yeah. So you have to use instincts on animals to get them to understand understanding.
And I said get them to operate within that means too, because we can't tell our dog to fly.
Right.
We not going to tell our dog to hunt and to hunt. You have to give the dog the understanding based on the scenario as well, because they don't have this six part here. But humans do. Right? It says continue, and in the 7th speech and interpreter of the congregations thereof. Right. So the churches come to your mind able to verbalize it. Animals not able to do that.
Right. So like let's see if I get that. He filled them with knowledge and understanding and showed that what? Oh no, right, same 5. Salakia. Go ahead.
Verse 6. Counsel and a tongue and eyes and ears and a heart gave he them to understand. With all he filled them with the knowledge of understanding and shewed them good and evil.
Right. So that the history of man. That the history of creation of man and where we went from. And basically the evolution from not knowing nothing to now being able to understand everything. That is the history of man. Not no fucking come from monkeys. What the fuck you talking about?
Which you're able to know, because the
Job 30 wanted?
verse what?
The Job 30 wanted?
No, not there yet. Go the Ecclesiastes 3 finish off.
But
we have a different, because we have a different spirit we don't understand animals. Right? This proves it here.
Ecclesiastes 3 and 19 now, for that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts. 20 all go unto one place and all
unto one place. Who's that all? It's referring to humanity, right?
All are of the dust and all turn to dust again. So everybody going back in our grave. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward and the spirit of beast that goeth downward to the earth?
Why? Because beast is living perfect. Or that beast is living in right now, that is perfect. Or that with the Most High. That is how the Most High wants a dog. When dogs see strangers as back, that's the Most High wants it. Right? When I lie and see a hyena, there's fight it out, that's what the Most High wanted. So them don't
really have a judgment to receive.
Them don't get no judgment. Them doing everything in perfect order. But human beings, right, we not in full perfect order because we're given the Lord's statutes and commandments. So when we don't live by that now, we have to face judgment for it. Right? Because we know better. Basically, it's because we know better. Right. We have a different spirit within us than animals. And also, if you was a man, because this is why reincarnation is perfect to understand as well, right? Or imperative to this as well. without if you're in the reincarnation cycle as a man descending from one of the 12 sons, if we say he's an Israelite man, just make it simple, he's an Israelite man from the tribe of Judah,
Right.
right? You're not gonna come back in as a Edomite man from the tribe of Timon or Amalek. You're gonna come back as a man descending in one of the Israelite tribes. Point blank simple, right?
And so that precept will come in my mind too again. I can't remember Numbers 1 according to the. I'll get that for you real quick. Cause that it come in my mind too. No? Look it come out. So what I watch me shit. The Numbers 1. Nah, they didn't give me that. They didn't give me it all it.
For the outside fathers.
Yeah.
And I 150.
No, 1 and 2. It's
2.
1 and 2, but I just was using it from
NIV.
the NIV, and I didn't like the transition. The Numbers 1 and 2 take ye the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel after their families by the house of their fathers, with the number of their names, every male by their poll. So what again? You is wherever your father is basically. If your father is a Judite, you are Judite. If your father is Israelite, you are Israelite. If your father is an Edomite, father might be Esau. But you ain't gone fucking dead, and then 4 generations from now when you come back, you wake up and fucking you's a Canaanite or a cat or a fucking dog. What the fuck you talking about? That don't make no fucking sense. Salak. And that even changed.
That was no grammar. Like how you said 4 generations from now, because that's the reincarnation cycle.
Right.
You say the 4th generation, you're gonna come back in your same lineage. Right. So you is your forefathers. My great, like you say, what were we? We father, grandfather, great grandfather. We could either be great grandfather or we great grandfather, depending on if he's still alive. Right? Which I think he did.
Who be great grandfather?
Yeah, I think he did.
Yeah, them fellas dead. So
we could, one out of the 3 of we could be triplets, eh? One out of the 3 we could be great grandfather.
Right.
And then the other 2 could be great uncles. Something so. Right. So that's how it does work. You're not gonna work with it fucking I come back as a cat or a dog or a woman even. I can't even come back as a woman, as a masculine spirit the Lord make for me. So that's the spirit I don't come back as.
But showing you again the differentiation between not because that's proven that we could never be beasts and beasts could never be we. But what you could say about all the heathens too, you know it is say you can't become an Israelite. That means your lot set as a heathen. So if your lot, just to keep it at mankind, a Canaanite can't be an Edomite. An Edomite can't be a Japhite. A Japhite can't be an Israelite.
You can switch around nations.
Just with humans, you can don't jump to the next species, but that don't make no fucking sense, boy.
Right.
The dogs had a back of that, because them know we talking the truth. We're talking about, boy. That don't making no fucking sense. So how we start off as monkeys? We know we start off as monkeys. If you could get a job today, I believe you're gonna go to that.
No. So, I wanted to tap into this year.
With them fellas now.
Yeah. Right. So I said, tell me about the history of human evolution now. So now we tap, disprove that humans could have never. So them doesn't start bad, right? So anything they say after this is shit, but we just wanted to get the premise for what this might have to be a 3-part, right? So there's where they say the history of human evolution start. There's a reach now, and what Esau, you don't want to take it, that will be the 2nd part, and then we're actually going according to the word of the Most High, that will be the 3rd part.
So 3-part.
3-part, right? Let me go here. There is what Esau, I'm saying with he, as it say, lying wonders or pseudoscience, right? There is, which you can look up the term pseudoscience on your own, which basically go back to false science.
Right, so like when you say a pseudo-God is a false God.
Yeah.
You're presenting yourself as God, but it's not really God. And we know science go back to the word to know, I believe. Or knowledge, right? So what? Pseudo knowledge is not real knowledge. It's something you could know, but it don't really exist. That is basically what Esau science founded upon: make beliefs, stories, fairy tales, garbage. Right.
The history of human evolution is a complex and fascinating journey, marked by a branching tree of different homonym species, with each with unique traits and adaptations. The story is not a simple linear progression from ape to human, makes no sense, right? but a series of major developments driven by environmental changes and key innovations also makes no sense because within the scriptures, right, the Israelites left the homeland countless times because there's a book about the Israelites, for the Israelites, by the Israelites, right? So from the beginning, right, there we go from, we not go quite from the beginning, right? Because we know we is in the homeland in the beginning from Adam, but let me go to, let me just tap into the Babylonian captivity, right?
Right, so
we
we
left
was in the land and
yeah.
we leave the land.
Right, so they return into Babylonians because we left the land of Israel. That's what they're saying, isn't it? When you read into this, your species could change depending on environmental changes.
Right.
So so because what did I say here, which we go get into, is the humans in Africa, right? Why they go keep the darker complexion, less hair, right? More, how you say, rounded faces, bigger lips, bigger noses. Because the hair in Africa hot, right? The sun they shine hotter in Africa, so you need more melanin to protect you from the sun harmful rays.
And you won't have as much hair on your body,
yeah.
according to them, due to the fact that because of how hot it is, it will make sense. So then,
but then
just through the environment, your body can manipulate itself to be wherever it needs to be to basically exist
survive,
there.
yeah.
But
which makes
no
it because
sense.
what they're saying, everybody was in Africa at one point, but when they migrate from Africa, and they go to the Europeans, right, to the Caucasus Mountains, they grow more here because they cooler. So that body here, and that will keep you warm. See, that making any sense? So if a man just get up, buy a plane ticket and go and live in Europe for 10 years,
he go turn white.
Makes sense. That
well, not white, but turn red.
Because look at Salak, we could change his mannerisms, right? Because that is all that takes place. All that we become gentle, like in the sense that what we start following after heathenish customs. So we lost sight of we were as Baruch 2 and say, the land of their captivity, they shall remember themselves. That is what taking place now, right? So that could take place, but to think we could change, so I turn Babylonian now. I turn Edomite now in terms of the flesh. That's what they say. Makes no sense. So I'm gonna finish here. I'm gonna tap in here. It says the early homonyms. Look up this word.
So like I just had a precept to that you can't change your body has no control over itself to just change into where it need to be or where it want to be for the environment to tend.
Matthew, I wish I say that can one of you change it, Sasha, just by thought?
Right. Or
so like that roughly paraphrase that.
But I want to say too that Jeremiah 13:23, can the Ethiopian change his skin or the leopard his spots? Then may ye also do good that are accustomed to doing evil.
Right, so you see,
you're in your lot, you're in your portion, you're in your set for wherever the Most High decide for you. Wherever cut you are on your skin today, the Most High wanted that to be there right there at this exact time and moment. You had no control over that, but somehow your body just gonna decide to turn red because you going in a climate with snow and fucking grow hair.
Makes no sense.
And your hair gonna turn straight and blonde and colorless and your eyes gonna get blue. Well, that don't make no fucking sense at all. That don't make no sense. And it's not happening. It don't make no sense. And we know it don't make no sense because it's not happening. The Most High is not an author of confusion.
That's a beautiful thing because it currently you're not seeing it taking place in the time.
So it could have never happened.
Because
also like that precept what is, was, and what
was shall.
Just I'll get that real quick.
That's what what it is trying to say to justify this shit in it. The length of time it take to happen, we will never see it in our lifetimes. Which word that is what they're trying to hide as the next.
Full of shit.
Right,
I'm full of shit. But them have an excuse for every lie they have with it.
Because they were saying they're going to use that to justify this technological age they're going to bring in now. We didn't see this coming. Where's the next form of human evolution? The technological age.
Technocracy.
So we will never see chimps eventually evolve into humans because we can bypass that.
Nah, that's the excuse now.
It's an excuse now.
They could be able to stop the so-called human evolution they see happening because them gonna try and control it now. They them wicked, boy. The Ecclesiastes 1:9. What has been will be again, and what has been done will be done again. So there's nothing new under the sun. I just want to read it. Verse 10, is there anything of which one can say, look, this is something new? it was here already long ago. It was here before our time.
Yeah.
We not gonna look at a man and see he turn to a monkey and say, hey, this is new. And even then, when we see men turn to monkeys, because Esau gonna turn back to beast-like state. Isaiah 14 is this the man with the shake kingdoms, blah blah blah. Job see them fuckers already. So what? It have nothing new, and they're still not gonna be monkeys. They're still gonna be Edomites. So what are you lying, boy? And you know you're lying. The Bible don't have what you figure out. The Lord don't reveal it. But so like you could continue to your saying.
Look up the word homonyms.
Homonyms? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Alright, so they say the story begins in Africa, alright, with the divergence of the human lineage from that of our closest living relatives, chimpanzees and bonobos. The earliest known homonyms. This is huge. This is Esau's closest living relatives. When he talking about when he was living in the Caucasus Mountains. Beautiful. I didn't think I'd have been out so early, but Job to tell one. I read it in GNT. You look up homonyms?
Yeah, that's right.
See what it say. See if I get it before I get a chance to read it.
Homonym?
Yeah.
Listen.
Come on, man. We'll give you that. Alright, go ahead.
Right, homonyms as it pertains to biology, a taxonomic designation rejected as invalid because the identity. What? Listen, I go on any Merriam-Webster and the fucking mouth. I'll get it in AI. What is a homonym, right?
You look it up in Merriam-Webster?
Yeah, the
Nah, look it
Merriam-Webster.
up on Google.
Listen, again, it in AI one time. What is a
Or
homonym?
they could work. Merriam-Webster is kind of mad sometimes.
Yeah, some of the definitions, but I don't know. Right, a homonym is a word. This
How you spell it? How you spell it?
HOMONYM.
No. It's HOMINIS.
That's
So
right.
homonyms.
Oh, that's a homonym.
So like I might have seen it wrong one.
Right, that's
So
a
like
HOMININS.
S.
Slovakia. I thought you were saying homonym like the word now. For English, Slovakia. Right. A hominin is a member of the taxonomic tribe Hominini, which includes all modern and extinct human species. Ecclesiastes
Which,
4 again. There's no end to all the people.
Like 4.
4 and 17, yeah.
Ecclesiastes 4 and 17.
It's not 4, 17, 4, 16, I believe. I'll get it right.
There's no entire people, so they like to say how the Homo sapiens extinct, but we descendants of them. How the fuck they extinct if I'm not entire people?
4:16, reading Ecclesiastes 4:16 in the NIV, right? There was no end to all the people who were before them, but those who came later were not pleased with it. All right, there's one.
Because what I like to say is, although there's going to be an entire people,
So that's a prophet. Do we reach that prophecy yet?
and yeah, that's what I'm not going to say. If there was an entire people, it should be documented.
It has a documentation of our people whose commenter.
Right.
So it is he gonna put the remembrance of Amalek put out the remembrance of Amalek from under heaven.
Yeah. So if there was an end to the so-called Homo sapiens, should be documented here. Why can't we find it?
Because the Most High don't document an end of our people. So you think he could document that and not document the ones who already lost out?
Because them was in here. Them was in here.
That's why it was documented.
Because when you check the time period there, it says the early hominins is from 6 or 4 million years ago. The Bible doesn't
track that time.
No.
And the Bible tracks some since the beginning of time.
This the Bible, right? According to the Bible, this earth is about 13 to 14,000 years old.
Correct.
That is it. 13 to 14,000 years old, man.
And so like all Yahweh Shai said 2,000 years ago, you telling me with everything that he know, because he did literally know everything. You telling me is that he mentioned nothing about the dinosaurs? He mentioned nothing about these Homo sapiens and all these kind of fellas. Why them and talk about that? Solomon, he did know everything.
That why they bring out Solomon. That why I love to bring out that Solomon dealing with that because Solomon knew everything.
Right.
You see, he gave him the understanding, the elements, the beginning, the end, and the midst of times, and everything. He do that with Moses as well, but I like how Solomon literally tell you that is what take place.
He was just say it as well in second as just I can't remember what chapter, but he said, well, I showed Moses the beginning and the end of the times.
And all them prophecies Moses, right?
And he telling you nothing about the monkey man. You don't know nothing about the monkey man from Moses. So what the fuck are you talking about? So like in Ecclesiastes 4:16, there's no end of all the people, even of all that have been before them. They all right, but at the point there's no end of the people. It have no end of the people.
I say in verse like I say 64 million years ago. So I know you know this all this bullshit, but I just read it. It says the story begins in Africa with a divergence of the human lineage from that of our closest living relatives, chimpanzees and bonobos. The earliest,
my closest living relatives
is one of the 12
Judah.
tribes.
If I Benjamin is Judah and then Levi, no fucking dogs or no monk. What kind of retard shit? That retard thing. That is retard thing. Stop talking to me like we dumb. We know you're talking shit. That
If it's Judah, it's Benjamin and Levi. If it's one of the other, well, they all right. That why I say one of the other 11 tribes. That's we close.
We are 11 other relatives and none of them is a dog. So who you talking about? Wait, that is in Exodus 2. With we say
I don't put a difference between the Egyptians and the Israelites, and against the Israelites are not a dog.
Dog movers, he liken these nations to dogs. Them is dogs, and them ain't even come from dogs. So what are you talking about? It have no record of that in the Bible. But so like it continue.
It says the earliest known homonyms such as Sahelanthropus and Orain shows signs of a crucial first step, bipedalism. We research that. Bipedalism. Salah.
Oh shit. Bipedalism.
Which so accent one thing which you already cut this.
Bipedalism is the ability to walk upright on two legs.
Right, so what? So that's what they're saying here. So all the time man's walking on all fours, Bev. Now the chimpanzees learn to walk on two legs.
And I'm doing that now, and I'm still on the
still on this, still making no sense.
You still had a hole. If you wanna see a monkey walk on his legs, you got a hole up your hand for him, and you gotta force him. That's not natural for them. So how them learn to do that, and they can't learn to do it now? What was will be. There's no.
Well, another thing they go say is the conditions surrounding the state in which you would have had to learn that.
Right. So why would they have?
So we no longer we not in that environment no more. That is how come you don't see them doing it, and they pray that them evolve, and again from that not gonna take place because you pray that the next human evolution according to Esau Edom, which we're gonna get into in the next video. It's just a little snippet is what via that MOTB. Breath. It continue here. It says, or the ability to walk on two legs is freed up the hands for carrying objects and using tools. Right? It says key development is bipedalism. Right? Right. It says this adaptation is a defining feature that separates early homonyms from other apes. It may have evolved as a response to climate change, again using the environment as a reason to say, well, here we're going on. That could affect mannerisms, as I said, that make some of the Israelites, or a vast majority of the all are we in this time. Let me say all are we in this time made us gentilic, but did it change our species?
No.
Exactly, right? Or does it change the other animal species? Exactly.
Because
Doesn't.
even when the psalmist said I was like as a beast before
Before
thee.
thee,
So
right,
we
right.
pick up beast like ways, but not to the point where we literally look like beasts.
Or move like this or descend from this.
Right.
See again the cameraman at the forefront of this.
Dogs is lick their own balls.
Mm.
Dogs bite when they get friendly with each other, lick each other asshole and things. That's natural for them. Man. No man in the world. So like,
So like it says these two.
so like, no, I'm saying something. The characteristics that animals naturally have, as beasts like as these men is, them ain't even do it. So what part are we come from?
Well, joked it.
No, but but them men just
Violent,
them is not
violent.
even to me. Them is animals too. them grim, nasty people.
Verse. Right, so that's 6 million to 4 million years ago. So now we take this 4 million to 2 million years ago. So you take 2 million years to learn to walk on 2 feet, right?
And
a baby that right now go and say a baby that do that in months.
Yes. So well, months.
I don't know. And the one, you know why? The only reason they don't do it one time is why. Because they didn't develop kneecaps.
At least so they say. I don't know if that's true or not. Because I never according to research and each other.
I don't own baby to tell you whether or not. But
they don't say the reason babies can't walk from birth is because they don't have kneecaps.
Right,
the
cartilage needed to develop to form the kneecap itself. They didn't develop that as well. So you have a logical explanation as to why them men walking. But you telling me apes we taking 2 million years to learn to walk? That makes any sense, man? Verse
I want to know. That's not good. I can't see if any animals with kneecaps.
It says 2. The Australopithecus era. The Australopithecus era, right? It said this period is dominated by the genus Australopithecus, which includes the famous Lucy. It says these hominins were still relatively small brain and had a mixture of ape-like and human-like features. While they were fully bipedal, I believe that means they was fully able to walk on the 2 feet after it take 2 million years, right? It says they still retain adaptations for climbing trees, right? It says small brain, key characteristics, small brain similar to chimpanzees, prominent jaws.
Take 2 million years to learn to walk on 2 legs, right? But a baby, the reason so-called that they can't walk yet is because they ain't developed kneecaps.
But as soon as they do, they walking normal,
they're
running
on 2 for the whole life unless you most likely cripple them. Walk. But hear this. Are there any animals who walk on all fours who have kneecaps? Yes. Almost all terrestrial vertebrates that walk on all fours, known as quadrupeds, have kneecaps. So, if it takes you 2 million years to learn to walk with kneecaps, and the only thing that's stopping our baby from learning to walk in 2 months is the fact that they don't have kneecaps, because as soon as they develop it, they start walking normal. Then what? How is it that it take the apes 2 million years? That don't making no sense, and apes have kneecaps.
Who call these guys the fucking smartest people in the world right now, boy? These so-called Edomite scientists, man. You consider these men so smart, boy? Idiots, boy. Right? You consider these guys smart? Idiots. It says they were proficient at walking upright, but likely spent time in trees for food and safety. You know get top of the food chain status, you know, and you still have to run up and hide in a tree for food and safety. What you afraid of? Chimpanzees.
They say babies can't walk from birth for a combination of reasons, including their physical development, which I think that's the point you just want to get here. Yes, sir.
But say like that, right? Chimpanzees, when them rolling packs in the wild, animals are afraid of them because of how violent they could be, you know. So you know, tell me they get a plus advantage, right? So retaining some of the chimpanzee traits for climbing trees.
And them dominating the animal kingdom.
Yeah, they had to run for safety. It makes no sense. It makes no sense. Verse 3. I don't know why I'm saying verse. Salakia. the third point, right? It says the emergence of genus Homo 2.5 million to 300,000 years ago. It says the genus Homo emerged in Africa around 2.5 million years ago. This marked a significant shift for the development of larger brains and more sophisticated tool use. It says Homo habilis handyman, the first species in our genus.
Let's Google it. Sorry, search it in AI. Do babies, newborns have kneecaps? This is a very common and interesting question, and the answer is a little more complex than a simple yes or no. Newborns do have something in place of kneecaps, but they are not the hard bone kneecaps that we have as adults. So basically, they have something like onto kneecaps that have not developed fully into kneecaps as yet. And as soon as they get that, they say, what? With the previous question I asked, they're walking within 9 to 18 months. So the same time they spend in the mommy belly, that's the same time it's taken for the bodies to develop, for them to learn to walk. Not no 2 million years. What's the like, you guy? You guy?
There's third point. It says Homo habilis handyman, the first species in our genus Homo habilis, is named for its association with the although one tool industry, simple stone tools used for cutting and scraping. Their brains were larger than those of Australopithecus, and their diet included a greater amount of meat. It says Homo erectus, upright man. This species was a major success story, existing for nearly 2 million years. Homo erectus was the first hominin to migrate out of Africa and colonize Eurasia. Wow, bullshit. But they were taller and had larger brains, right? But that bullshit, right? Because documented biblical proof of the first ones to leave Asia and colonize Eurasia would be who? Leave Africa and colonize Eurasia would be who? Not these guys. But anyway, them claiming this knowledge before the Bible, so that is done bullshit already. Their key innovations were the controlled use of fire and the creation of more advanced stone tools known as Achillean. Them taking millions.
Use of fire.
Them I know saying them taking millions of years. Yeah, what you guys say? Them taking millions of years to learn to use fire.
So like, I meant to make fire. The Most High make the elements, and the Allah use the elements to make everything else. So yeah, them now learning the use of starting a fire when the Allah making a whole volcano. Come now, man. Let me not talk shit now, man.
It says the rise. I'll go to this. The rise of archaic Homo sapiens. As Homo erectus population spread and evolved, they gave rise to several new species, often referred to as archaic Homo sapiens. It says Homo heidelbergensis. This species is believed to be the common ancestor of both modern humans and Neanderthals. They were skilled hunters and were the first hominin to live in colder climates. It says, right? It says, of course, his extinct relatives, the Homo neanderthalis, Neanderthals lived across Europe and Asia. They were powerfully built and had brains. This is what Esau Edom trying to hide. Right? The Neanderthals get a job to know. Right. This is who these guys was. The Neanderthals was the Esau Edomites, and after they was driven from among men, as this job I'm about to explain, read on to verse 8.
So like Neanderthals were, you would know them as cavemen.
Yeah.
Job 30.
That was the Uga period. Right? That is I trying to the words. The best that is when Jakes was ruling Europe in the so-called Dark Ages. So how they is able to fabricate the entire lie, this whole Homo sapien and fucking Neanderthal bullshit, this came from them.
Funny enough, because after coming out of that, there would have been the revival of the beast system, because we know it all starts since the Greeks. Before the beast system come back into play, with that rule the earth and live out the blessing, which that with the beast in Revelation actually speaking about them 7 heads being the 7 times Esau that rule the world, or whatever empire they would have that rule the world, the Greeks, the Romans, the French, Spanish, British, Germania Minor, Germania Major, right? being that them empires being run by Esau and Edom would have ruled the world. They are beast system. And before the beast system would have live out and become the system it is today, them was literally beasts. Funny, you know. Job 30 from
so
1.
they hear about
Expose Esau.
these Neanderthals. This is who the Neanderthals is. Right?
Right, Job 30.
So like it also mentioned Malachi 1 and 4.
Right, they shall I will throw down, they shall return build the desolate places.
Where is the desolate places? That's when they get kicked out of power and Jake started ruling Europe. Right. That's that and Revelation 20th chapter. He set a seal, right, a 1,000-year period in which a seal was set up on the nation of Esau Edom. That is when there was in a caveman like Seth, which is the so-called Neanderthals. There was, fucking 300,000 to some million years ago, fucking species of different humans we descend. No. They were the Esau Edomites during this period here. The period before the Renaissance, that 1,000-year period before they come back up into power via the Renaissance. This is who the Neanderthals was. Go ahead.
Job 31. But now they that are younger than I have mean derision, whose fathers I would have disdained to have set with the dogs of my. I don't read this in the NIV. Salakia. I want to get this in a different translation, see what it says. If you could just bear with me for a second here. Alright. Right, Job 30 from 1. But now they mock me, men younger than I, whose fathers I have disdained to put with my sheepdogs. And as he's speaking about men here, again, now they mock me, men younger than I, and he's saying he would disdain to have them amongst dogs. Of what use was the strength of their hands to me, since their vigor... Verse 2. Of what use was the strength of their hands to me, since their vigor had gone from them? Haggard from want and hunger, they roamed the parched land in desolate wastelands at night. In the brush they gathered salt herbs, and their food was the root of the broom bush, which juniper roots, as it says in the KJV. So again, that hunter lifestyle. Again, Esau was a cunning hunter, so that perfect environment for a man like he to exist. Like a fucking dog.
Like a beast.
They would
send a dog, see them more them among the dogs.
Right. Well, and verse 5,
why we see what they'll be doing to the dogs and them.
And what? Verse 5 said one time head chopper, as they said that the spirit, they were banished from human society.
Beautiful.
Shouted at as if they were thieves, which they are thieves. That next trait of Esau Edom. They were forced to live in the dry steam beds among the rocks and holes in the ground. They brayed among the bushes and huddled in the undergrowth. A base and lamest brood, they were driven out of the land.
See, so that is the Neanderthal for you. That is history they're trying to hide from you. That is the true Neanderthal. No fucking cunt. Well, you can't say me, but no cunt from 2 million to 300,000 years old. No, bruv. Continue here. And the Bible find way out. Right? Psalms.
So there's no way that he can hide.
That was Isaiah. And made this up there. For 19. Beautiful. That one we saying Isaiah. I uncovered the leg. Isaiah 4, Isaiah 47 and 3. Yeah, beautiful. It says our closest extinct relatives, Neanderthals, lived across Europe and Asia. They were powerfully built and had brains as large as or even larger than modern humans. They developed sophisticated tools, buried their dead, and lived in complex social groups. They coexisted and interbred with the Homo sapiens, right? It says the emergence of Homo sapiens 300,000 years ago to present. Anatomically, modern humans evolved in Africa. The oldest known fossils with Homo sapiens features dated back to around 300,000 years ago. There's the Outer Africa theory. So they're claiming all humanity descend from Homo sapiens, and the traits of the body structure and features change based on the climate they lived in, right? So we get that here. It says, out of Africa theory, the most widely accepted model suggests that Homo sapiens migrated out of Africa in a major wave around 60 to 7,000 years ago. As they spread across the globe, they eventually replaced or assimilated the other homonym species they encountered, right? Behavioral modernity. The true hallmark of our species is not just our physical form but our behavior. We develop complex language, symbolic thought, art, and advanced tools. This enables us to form large social networks, innovate rapidly, and adapt to virtually every environment on Earth. Bullshit, right? I'm gonna finish. I'm gonna see what this one say. If it's too long,
Yeah, that real long.
let me see.
Get the point.
Let me see if I get the point here. That's something I want to extrapolate. When they say they are migrate out of Africa theory, let me see if I see it here. Mm. Mm. Alright, well, they gain it here, but what is the biggest when they go more in depth into the outer Africa theory is that they left Africa and based on the let me see if it's here. Alright, well, there is it here adaptability. So based on the environment they was in and the other homonyms that they interact with, they would evolved to suit the climate and the environment they was in.
Which again is dramatic.
Right.
Leopard change his spots, kind of Ethiopian his skin. Well, and the Lord said that Ethiopian can't change his skin color. Well, we know by unnatural means he's so able to manipulate that shit today. Bleaching and these things. But what? Them things not natural. Naturally speaking, none of this can happen. And according to this theory, all of this naturally happened, which we know is not natural. So, if you have anything there, you can.
I ain't nothing. But what I'm saying is, this is the end of the first part. The second part, we're going to go into what Esau Edom thinks humanity is going to evolve into next. Right? Which is the technological aspect. They're coming from. We have some videos on that to show you all as well with Noah Ival, who have these Klaus Schwab, all of these technocrats, right? Bill Snakes, all of these guys, right? These nerds, right? We make up the same bullshit and trying to propagate some more bullshit. And Lord will, the third part, right? We go discuss with the humans eventually gonna evolve into which, spoiler alert, we're gonna be gods, right? Israel's gonna be gods. Everybody else is going to be a servant and a slave, and then Esau them going to be a dead fucking man, right? So Lord will, this video was edifying and that you were edified. Cousin, like say, Kal Halal Yamla, Yahawa, Ba'asham Yahushai, Ba'asham Wakakwadash, double honors unto the apostles and elders of great men, so for pushing this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth, and for giving us this doctrine in all sincerity and in truth. As always, like say, Shalom to the elect.
Shalom to the elect.
This was a couple of your brothers.
Maya Allah
And Isaiah saying,
Shalom.
Shalom.